Hello and welcome to another episode of the Massive Blanker. I'm here today down at Hibaldstow Lakes fishing a new peg that I've never been on before. Now, normally when I fish here, I'm on the far side of the lake. The fingers that I'm on now have been closed for around 2 years or so because it's all been flooded out. Finally, the water level's dropped enough, they're open, so I thought I'd come over this side. There's much more cover at this side than there is at the other. There's a little bit more interest for the carp, little bays, sheltered areas, whereas the other side's quite bleak, there's not much there. So hopefully, I've done one night, no luck, but I did have a tench. The guy next to me has literally just had a £15 two common, really nice looking fish. And I think the guys to the other side of me have had something as well, but I haven't seen that. We're fishing just out past a tree that's next to me, one out towards the middle and one into a little bay on the RG baits, Arctic crab 15mm boilie and 13.5mm Arctic crab pop up in yellow. So one pop up out, two bottom baits out, a couple of liners so far, but not that much going on at the moment. And this lake generally doesn't tend to wake up until the sun starts to go down. So tonight probably be 8 o'clock-ish. So all I've been doing so far today is just building up my swim, spotting out some mix onto my spots, to make sure that there's some bait there. There's a lot of tension in this water. And last year when I wasn't particularly successful, I was fishing bags, and I suspect there wasn't enough bait, small solid bags. I think they were just the free offerings were just getting ripped apart by the tench and not leaving really anything for the carp. The bailiff, when I'd spoke to him, had said you need to sort of get the spods, get stuff going in, falling through the water. So I started off this year with a bit of a heavier baiting approach. So not bothering with bags. Might tie up a couple of mesh ones just when I'm resetting, but generally spomming out reasonably regular to build up that bit of bait, and then obviously I'll leave it once the sort of golden hour comes, and sort of keep it quiet so I don't disturb the fish, and hopefully we'll get something. Yeah, so me and the pooch for the weekend, my co-star looping. So yeah, if you're out on the bank over this bank holiday, I do hope that you catch something, you have a good time. So here's a little look around my camp for the weekend. So this is my swim. This is finger 6 at Hibaldstow. I've got this area next to me that I can fish into, but only back to the tree. I'm not allowed to come any further back than that because it's snaggy and it's where the fish chill out. So at the moment I am fishing basically just on the entrance here. I've then got one up straight out in the middle there, and then I've got one to the other side of this tree. I would love to have a rod in this bit here, but unfortunately it's out of bounds. I have seen carp in there. I saw a very nice one yesterday just cruising about, but maybe next time when the water levels have sorted themselves out and they're not spawning, might get in there. So here's the Questify Mark III. I'm using it in a different configuration today. I've got the skull cap on. That's the first time. We had a bit of rain last night and it's been fantastic. So, see, rod set up as well. And got my nets ready for if I catch anything. And then down there, I've got my waist sling and my unhooking cradle, my spod bucket, and then I've got one of the Ridge Monkey 15-litre jugs. Really, really handy with the tap because it means I can actually wash my hands properly, which is nice instead of having to wash my hands in lake water. And then my little co-star there looping, he's just chilling out on my chair. Every time I get out of my chair, he's jumping in it. Same with my bed. Yeah, that is Massive Blanker base camp for the weekend. So we're coming up 7 o'clock now. Bite time's getting closer. Me and Lupin have come into the bivvy because I don't know whether you can pick up on the microphone, but the wind's picked up a bit and it's spitting. So it wasn't supposed to rain until later on this evening, but it seemed like it's arrived early, and we're getting wind gusts up to about 22 mile an hour. But on the plus side, the air pressure is falling, so hopefully that change in pressure is going to switch the fish on a little bit. I have actually had a fish top out about 3 foot from the edge of the margin, right next to me, just as I was getting ready to come in. So I am starting to see a little bit of activity in the water. Nothing as yet. I've rebaited, spotted out again, and hopefully I'm going to be catching some fish when the golden hour arrives. It's only probably maybe an hour off now, so just keep my eye on the water, see what happens, see if I can spot any fish to go to. Guy next to me's left, so I was tempted to cast towards that spot because there's a nice tree line, which is where he's had his carp from. But the only thing is, it's the water runs all the way underneath, so the trees are submerged. So it's snaggy. If you get a fish run there, you're going to just get tangled up, potentially get the fish tethered. And since it's going to be dark soon, I don't really want that. Even if we're fishing a super tight clutch, if I'm getting into the dark hours and I'm starting to lay on my bed, that's no good. I need to be able to get straight on the rods. So I've made the decision that I'll stay on the spots I've been on. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be coming back later with some fish to show you. Right, so it's 9:30 Sunday morning, and we've not had anything through the night. 5 o'clock this morning I was woken up by my alarms. The ducks had decided to take a liking to one of my spots, and one of the ducklings had got itself hooked up. So I managed to reel him in, much to the annoyance of his mum, who was squawking like anything, but managed to get him in gently, unhook him, send him on his way. And then about 20 minutes, half an hour after that, I had a take, but it got off at the net. But I'm not overly fussed because it was a tench by the look of it. So it's just one of those things, unfortunately. But yeah, that's been sort of a 48-hour-ish session at Hibaldstow on a new peg. I've learnt a bit about the water, so it's not all lost. The wind's picked up. It's nice and sunny, but it's getting really, really breezy. So I think I'm going to get packed up sharpish now and get myself home to spend the rest of the bank holiday with the wife and kids. So yeah, that is all from me and Lupin. He's not happy about the wind either. So if you do like the videos, these are just sort of diaries that I'm doing about my fishing. I'm looking at doing some other stuff, more reviews, more maybe tricks, tips, how to do things. And I'm going to run a bit of a diary like this when I come fishing. They'll probably be a little bit more interesting when the wife and kids are with me, because obviously they add the amusement. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you could please like and subscribe, it'd really help me out. And until next time, take care. Tight lines.